I'm saying this now. This is going to be a fucking disaster. Okay, what we're doing today. I look very fancy, I know. Since this is a special occasion, I dressed up. But only the bottom half, or only the top half. I look, very business forward on the top, party at the bottom. But, you only see half up. So, anyways, we're doing a wine review today. One of my chatters, specifically Nick Games, shout out to them, had the idea that I should review every type of wine. And obviously it's kind of impossible to get every single type of wine because most wines are mixes of other wines that already exist. And we'll get into that in a minute. But there's basically an endless amount of mixes that you can make within a wine. But I tried to get as many wines that are as known as possible. So I went to a bunch of liquor stores and I got a lot of wine bottles, specifically 20 bottles of wine. I tried to get basically every wine that you would know of or have heard of. They had some specific ones. If I really wanted to get into it, I could get into every single flavor infused rosé that exists, but I'm not going to do that. So we're basically sticking with the most popular types of wine, 20 different types. I have a full list as well as facts that go inside with every type of wine, and I'm going to be rattling them off to you guys, which I'm very excited about. I asked ChatGPT for a fun fact about each of these wines, and I think you'll enjoy them. But the wines that we are going to be doing are Riesling, Cabernet Sauvignon, Chardonnay, Merlot, White Zinfandel, Sweet Red, Pinot Grigio, Rosé, Pinot Noir, Cali Red by Snoop Dogg, Pink Moscato, Malbec, Bordeaux, Sangria, Sauvignon Blanc, Prosecco, and Zinfandel. There are 17 different types of wine. I already have 2 different Malbecs, 2 different Pinot Noirs, and 2 different Rosés. So you'll see those twice, and we'll compare them. I have 3 different wine glasses here. 1 for white wines, 1 for red wines, because I don't want to use a different glass of wine for everyone, and 1 for sparkling wines that you would more so see in a, champagne glass. Like, this is more of like a champagne / what's that shit called with orange juice? I was just talking about it and I forgot about it. What is it when you have orange mimosas? So this is like a mimosa glass. I was trying to be more professional having this glass for the sparklings. But yeah, that'll be its own little thing. That'll probably, I'll move that off screen for a bit because we're not going to be using that right now. But I have 20 different bottles of wine. No real particular order that we're going to do these in. I might, when we hit the ones that I have 2 of, we might do them back to back so we could compare the both. But we're just going to kind of crank these out. I got 20 different bottles. We're going to review each one. I'll give you a fun fact about each of the wines. And we're going to go from there. I'll turn on some music too. Editor, there's going to be no music in the VOD, so throw on some background music. Maybe some light Olive Garden music, some pianist. Throw that on in the back. Maybe something that seems professional. I'm going to be doing trying each of these. We're probably going to do a 1/4 of a glass. We're not going to be doing a full glass of each wine because then I'll be hammered, and I don't want to be hammered. But, we'll probably rock a little bit of a buzz. I'm going to throw on some fucking lo-fi. I'm excited. To be noted, I bought very low quality wine. I bought 20 bottles of wine. Total, it was $260. I think the most expensive bottle we're trying today is like $45 or $50. The cheapest is probably like $8. So, my judging of these wines, take that with a grain of salt. I am also more of a fan of white wines than red wines. But, I'm open to every experience that we have today. I also have a palate cleanser here of water, which we're going to have. First bottle, mystery grab. What do you think we're going to get? It's a red. It's a red. It is Suitor Home. Sweet red. If I was a waiter and you ordered this bottle of wine, I would come up to you like this. And you would inspect the bottle and you would say that it's okay. It's a twist top. Lovely. Look at that color. Look at that color. A sweet red, they say. Should be a sweet. That's probably going to be too much. Do you think that's a lot of wine if I do that for every one? How much wine is that? That's like a mouthful. I probably have to do a little less. I don't know. We'll see as we go. If I get really drunk, then I'll start lowering the amount that I consume. Fun fact, before we get in here, chat, get ready to be amazed. Sweet red wine was once considered medicine in ancient Rome, prescribed to boost vitality and even as an antidote for sadness. Alcohol, an antidote for sadness. Shocker. Anyways, let's give it a smell. It smells like red wine. Wine, for the people that have not had red wine or are not wine connoisseurs, smells sour, a little potent of sorts. Red wine specifically is usually dry, but this is technically a sweet red, not a dry red. So I will probably like it more than like a dry Merlot. Ooh. I'm getting hints of honey. I feel like I just licked a beehive, as a wine reviewer would say. Huh. The sweetness is really coming out the more I swish it. Not very strong. Not a very strong wine. I must say, it is very sweet. I actually am not lying as well when I say it tasted a little bit of honey. I feel like I was just drinking, what is honey wine called? I forget the name, but honey wine is its own thing. It's not technically wine, which is why it's not on this list. But honey wine is an actual thing. Mead. It kind of tasted like mead, and I've had mead before, and mead's very good. This is by Suter Home. This bottle of wine probably costs like $5. I doubt it. Maybe like 8 or 9. At Suter Home, our family has been bringing people together since 1948. Join us in raising a glass to good times with our fruit-forward sweet red. Fresh cherry and juicy peach flavors are rich on the palate with a smooth, semi-dry finish. Serve at room temperature or try it chilled. And it has a little gauge here. This is how you know this is low quality. I'm sorry for dissing Suter Home. It has a slide scale on how fucking sweet the wine is. I actually enjoyed that. I'm not that big of a wine fan in general, so a 10 for me is going to be very hard to achieve. But I must say, on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is absolute dog shit, 5 is I'll drink it for the sole purpose of getting drunk, and 10 is, wow, this is the best thing I've ever tasted. I'm going to give that a 7. It was sweet. I enjoyed it. It was very sweet, very enjoyable. Comparable to the others. I didn't really taste the cherry as much. Maybe a bit of peach flavor, as it said. But honestly, it tasted more like honey, like a mead. Another red here. A more popular red. Sweet red, not as consumed as this variety here. Pinot Noir by Dreambird. Dreambird Pinot Noir is an exciting wine. Fruity, fresh, perfect for everyday drinking. It's fruity. You already said that. Why do you got to tell me that again? Juicy with layers of black cherry, raspberry, and cinnamon. Backed up smooth fannins and a rich, smooth finish. Enjoy with Cajun dishes like surf and turf or gumbo. I don't know if I would want to... I don't know if... I haven't tried it, okay? I don't know if I would want to drink this with gumbo. Gumbo, like a southern seafood boil? I don't know. Let's give it a pour here. People are going to scald me, the wine experts. Ooh, it's a little... It looks a little thinner. I'm pouring too much. It looks a little thinner than the other one. Would you say this is more or less red than the first? I would say they're about even, maybe a bit darker. I would say that that's almost black. It's a little transparent, though. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do with these bottles of wine when I'm done, because I don't really drink wine. Might have to do a wine drinking stream, a wine night, where I go live at 1 in the morning and just sip wine and watch YouTube videos. It smells dry. A drier wine is usually stronger in my experience. Dry reds are usually drank by old men. Old people love dry wines. Young people usually like white wine, which we'll get into in a bit. Like Pinot Grigio, Chardonnay. Usually the choice of like 20 to 30-year-olds. This... something your grandfather might drink. Oh my god, the fun fact. How could I forget? Pinot Noir is absurdly hard to grow, and most of the best places to grow wine grapes have Pinot Noir. So it's considered the elite of the wine world. Huh. A perfect wine. Just for me. Down the hatch. Cheers. I imagine dry reds like Pinot Noir. The taste they have is what I imagine the sweat of a 85-year-old woman that seeped into the couch of an old person home would taste like if I licked the leather seat. Not good. Really not good. Maybe it might be this brand specific. Dreambird. I kind of fuck with the design they have on the front. It looks like a peacock, but with a very colorful, you know, thing. It just seems too simple for it to be expensive, so maybe that's the problem. I don't really remember how much any of these cost. My editor could throw up the price of each wine bottle. Editor, I'm sorry I'm giving you more work. I'll pay you more money. Remember to do that for the previous one as well. Suitor Home. MSRP. Pre-tax. Make sure it's pre-tax. Not in bulk as well. Sale value. My editor's gonna fucking hate me for this video. All right, anyways, you know, yep, chop chop, get to work. Anyways, what did I rate the last one? A 6.5? I think I gave it a 7. The sweet red was pretty good. I like sweet wines because I'm like a beer drinker. For an alcoholic drink, it doesn't need to be sweet for me. But I think the problem with wine in general is the bitterness from a wine makes your mouth so dry that it feels like you just smoked an entire joint. And the aftertaste of a dry wine, as I was saying, it just feels like I'm drinking old people's sweat. I don't know. I've never drank old people's sweat, but it's what I imagine it would taste like. I'm going to give that one... It wasn't bad, okay? I'm not going to say that one was... Pinot Noir, I've never had it. I've had a bunch of reds. I've had the least amount. A lot of these are going to be reds that I haven't had. I've never had Pinot Noir. It wasn't the worst wine I've had. It's better than a 5. Like, I could drink that on a special occasion. I'll give it a 6. It had a sweetness to it, but it also had that weird tang that was of old people sweat. Next. Oh, wait, dude, we have another Pinot Noir, actually. Should I look for that? No, I don't care anymore. We're not doing the fucking 2 at once. Next one. Let's do a white. We'll do a white wine next. I want to feel something different here. This wine looks expensive. Dreaming Tree. Sauvignon Blanc. Sauvignon Blanc. Another twist top. Do you know if there's a difference? Do you think twist tops are generally cheaper than corked ones? There's a few corks in the selection that we have, and I think that generally a corked wine bottle is probably going to be more expensive. That's an interesting thing we could actually see. I didn't really look at price when I bought these. I just kind of grabbed a bunch of bottles of wine that look different. That smells like shit. Oh my god, what is this? Sauvignon Blanc. Sauvignon Blanc. And that's it. Okay. See, yeah, no, this bottle of wine's probably like $7. It has a fucking start symbol on the bottle of the wine, or on the cap of the wine. Are you dead ass? What are the people that are drinking this, idiots? Oh, you want the fun fact? It said, long before these crowded streets, here stood the Dreaming Tree. Wow, you're really trying to fucking pull at my heartstrings right now? Wow, they have a whole poem on the back. An exciting collaboration between Dave Matthews and winemaker Grayson Stewart. Who is Dave Matthews? Is that a rock guy? It's a country band. Okay, well, apparently Dave Matthews has something to do with this. It's bottled in California. This Sauvignon Blanc is a true crowd pleaser with tropical notes of passion fruit, pineapple, kiwi, and a crisp, clean finish. Best served, shared. High expectations. Who made this? Dave Blunt's? No. Dave Matthews. I'd drink a Dave Blunt's wine. He'd probably have a good fucking selection for me on that. This is a white wine. Very clear. I feel like there's a lot of... You're going to notice with the white wines that we taste here, some of the wines are going to be more yellow looking, and some are going to look like... Okay, it's how hydrated the pea looks. Some of them are going to look like clear pea after a bottle of water. Some are going to look like you just woke up after 12 hours of not drinking water. We'll hit him with a fun fact before we drink this. For Sauvignon Blanc. It's the wild child of the wine world. The grape is known for its bold, punchy flavors like grass, green bell pepper, and citrus, often making it a bit of a shock to the palate when you first taste it. Okay, so that's basically preparing me for this tasting like shit. If the first fun fact you're going to give about Sauvignon Blanc is that it tastes like grass, and I prompted ChatGPT to give me a million facts for this shit, by the way. It smells like pee. It smells like pee. Pee and... I don't want to say pure alcohol. I feel like I'm going to get drunk by smelling this. Have you ever been in, like, a part of your grandparents' home that hasn't been explored in a while? Like a corner of a room or like a knick-knack area? It smells like a relic of sorts. An old thing. And I can't really put my tongue on it or my nose on it. Well, let's give it a taste. Sauvignon Blanc by Dave Matthews. Ooh. Bitter. A lot more bitter than I expected of a white wine. The most bitter white wine, I haven't had many white wines. I'm not a big wine guy, so this is all new to me. But I've had Chardonnay, Pinot Grigio a million times. I've had Zinfandel a few times as well. But most white wines that I've had, even if they're not declaring themselves as sweet, will have some sort of sweet note. And I believe this bottle of wine said notes of passion fruit, pineapple, and kiwi. I got urine. I got, and this is coming from somebody that's accidentally drank pee 2 to 3 times. I got urine out of that. I got, and this is somebody that's genuinely had pee before. So, no. I'll give it another. Okay. I get the acidity. I get the acidity of pineapple. That shows through. That shines through. I'll give it to him. Dave Matthews. Dave Matthews Dreaming Tree. The pineapple's there. It's there in the aftertaste. It's there midway. It's like a truck. The second I take a drink of that, it's pee, urine, pineapple, not that bad. It's bad from the start, good at the finish. And hey, they do say a crisp, clean finish. Dave Matthews. Dave Matthews. What is Dave Matthews a part of? Let me look that up. Oh, he's a part of Dave Matthews Band. All right, well, Dave Matthews, I don't know why the fuck I know who you are, but your wine, you know, you're telling the truth, man. You're telling the truth. Crisp, clean finish. Make sure to add in that it starts at the fucking, it sucks at the start. That shit's terrible off rep. And then it gets slightly better. So, you know, I'll give it to you that way. It starts around a fucking 4. Like, I wouldn't even want to drink it to get drunk. It ends at about a 6.5. It's a good ender, right? It's like I'm watching a WWE match and I think they're going to lose and then they win, but it's not really a fucking satisfactory win. So I'm going to give you a 6.5 on that one. Second best of the day out of the 3 bottles that we've tried. We got a big bottle. We got a big boy on this one. I'm telling you right now, this might be the cheapest bottle that we have. I think this is also corked. Nope, it's a twister. It's a San Nicola Cabernet Sauvignon. A Cabernet Sauvignon. One of the most fancy wines that we are going to be trying. In terms of, a lot of rich people love Cabernet Sauvignon. It's something that has a high sale value, but also a lot of cheap selections, including this liter bottle of wine we have here. This is probably $12 worth of wine. And this has to be almost a gallon, surely, right? I also wanted to have a little section where when I gave fun facts, I was going to list famous people that drank each type of wine, and I started writing them down, and I noticed that almost every red wine, ChatGPT was prompting me that Tom Hanks drank it, and I started to realize that ChatGPT is stupid, and I started asking, like, I would look up I would say, name famous people that drank Cabernet Sauvignon, and it would say Tom Hanks, and I would go, or Keanu Reeves. I would go, does Keanu Reeves drink Merlot? And it would say, we don't know if Keanu drinks... All right, the wine review's over. All right. I'm going to get this out fucking crystal clear this time. I was prompting ChatGPT about famous people that would drink wine. And I was looking each of them up. And originally, I was writing them down to share with you guys. And then it got to Merlot. And it was saying Tom Hanks drank all of them. And I was like, that's weird, but maybe he's a big wine guy. And then it said Keanu Reeves drank Merlot. And then I ended up looking up right after who drank famous people that drank Merlot. It said Keanu Reeves. And then I went, does Keanu Reeves drink Merlot? And it said, we can't know for sure if Keanu Reeves drinks Merlot. He just drinks red wine. So I said, you're just pulling shit out of your ass, ChatGPT. You might as well tell me to go fucking fuck myself. Bleep that, editor. Anyways, fun fact about Cabernet Sauvignon. Oh, this one sucks. Wait, why did I add this as the fucking fun fact? Cabernet Sauvignon is the accidental love child of Cabernet Franc and Sauvignon Blanc. So this is a mixed wine between Cabernet Franc and Sauvignon Blanc. Keanu Reeves. Yeah, you guys are so fucking funny, chat. You guys are so funny. I'm not getting any smell. It's because the bottle's too fucking big. Oh, this is going to piss the wine people off. That's good. That's good. So this is a mix between Cabernet and Sauvignon Blanc. So this is actually a mix between this. This is the parent of this. Not making much sense. How? How is that possible? A white grape making a red grape? Or is it the wines mixed together? I don't know. It has a sweet smell. Does it have anything on the back? Should we always read? Do you guys not like when I read the back? I love reading the back. Oh, it just says 13% alcohol by volume, product of Italy. Nothing else is on the fucking back. Which makes me... Oh, it's got cursive on the front. I can't read that. Our family's wines are the result of the love for our land and the passionate work in our vineyards from the famous rural areas around the world, rich in history and tradition. Yeah, try to be more generic. Tell me it's gonna taste like fucking pineapples and horse cum. Then I'll read the back of your fucking thing. The smell's starting to grow on me. I like the smell of it. But, you know, keep in mind, I also like the smell of gasoline, so that doesn't really mean much. This is a dark red wine, but it's a nice dark red wine. This is a very nice color. I know a lot of wine reviewers do that to look at it. I don't know what the fuck that means. They usually go like this. I know this is aerating it, and then they go like that. And then they go... It's a bitter, but it's a clean bitter. I don't have an appalling face, right? It doesn't make me want to jump inside of my own skin. It's a bitterness, but it's a clean bitterness. It's not too overwhelming. It doesn't really have a lot going for it flavor-wise. I'm almost only tasting bitter and, like, fermented grape. It's really hard to describe what wine tastes like to somebody that's never had it, because I know a lot of you guys have never had wine. It's not good. It's an acquired taste, just like beer, just like coffee. Red wine specifically. But the Cabernet, this was Cabernet Sauvignon, right? Cabernet Sauvignon, you surprised me. I have had Cabernet previously, and it wasn't good. It was not good at all. But this one, still not great taste-wise, but there's nothing really negative to say about it. While it is bitter, it's not a bad bitter. It's just a strong wine taste. I can taste the 13% in it. It's not like I'm tasting a beer that's more like a weird flavored water. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It was a 6. It was not really much, but there was nothing that I didn't like. I couldn't pick it apart, but I couldn't praise anything of it. I'm noticing this is going to be an issue. I was on an empty stomach. How many bottles of wine are we in? 4. Ah. 4. We have 16 more bottles to drink. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Next one. Yes Way Rosé. Yes Way Rosé. This is Brookie wine. My girlfriend wine. This is a wine that women in college will drink. Yes Way Rosé. Yes Way Rosé. Very popular among Gen Zers. It's a cheap wine. It's sweet. Rosé is kind of a go-to for a lot of people because it doesn't taste like shit, but it's also really unhealthy. A little fun fact about rosé. It's one of the oldest types of wine in the world, possibly the original wine. Ancient winemakers didn't have the tech to separate skins from the juice quickly, so most early wines were generally light pink. In other words, rosé isn't just trendy. It's the OG. Huh. So this is technically a white wine, but it is obviously darker, as you can see. I wouldn't even say necessarily pink. I would say it looks more orange. It says on the bottom here, say yes way to our refreshing dry rosé, made in the south of France with notes of strawberry, citrus, and white peach. Light-bodied with a bright finish, sip chilled for casual hangs, sunny days, and epic celebrations. And then it says gluten-free and vegan-friendly. That's great. That's really a selling point for me. I also mixed the wines, so I was supposed to keep the glasses separate, didn't. Who gives a fuck? I'm also not sipping this chilled. This is room temp. All these wines are going to be room temp. Even a lot of the white wines that are supposed to be chilled, because I don't give a fuck. That's good enough. Let's see if I say yes way to this rosé. That's fire. Throw that in an edit. Cheers. It smells sweet. Not really shocking for a rosé. Now that's a good fucking wine. Now that's a good fucking wine. I don't care that that's dry. It was a sweet dry, and that's a rare commodity in the wine world. France? South of France? Not specifically. South of France, meaning not in France. Made in the south of France. Meaning in France, but in the south of France, or in France, or not in France, south of France. What's south of France? I don't know. I'm American. I don't know geography. Anyways, I'm saying yes way to this rosé because I'm fucking loving this. This is a good rosé. This is a good rosé. I don't know if it's high quality or not. I doubt it is. It's a twist off, but smells, you know, just like any other wine. Pretty generic, not like bitter by any means. Doesn't smell like horse pee or fucking old people pee. But it is sweet. I do get the citrusy. It is a little bit of tanginess. Not strawberry at all. I don't like when wines say that, where they're going to say you get hints of strawberry, hints of this, hints of that. Unless you're a wine connoisseur and you're generally somebody that's like actually tasting wine on a daily basis. What are those people called? That's an actual job, by the way. Unless you're one of those people, you're not really going to be able to discern those flavors from a bottle of wine. For the most part, it's going to be an indiscernible sweet, a sommelier. A sommelier. Yeah. That's an actual job for wine tasters. Unless you're one of those, you're not really going to get the strawberry or anything out of that wine bottle. I'm just getting sweet, a little bit of citrus, like not lemony, but maybe like more of an orange, and that's it. But it's good. Also, I need to pee. I'm feeling it, dude. And I'm a fourth of the way through this. Are you drunk yet? I would say yeah. Not drunk. I would say I'm feeling a bit of a buzz because I'm low on food, low on fuel, and I drank a whole Red Bull before this. So, Chris for the sub. Next, though. Oh, I didn't rate that. What would I rate the rosé? That was the most enjoyable of the bunch. I would say Yes Way Rosé is probably 7.5. It's still not an 8. An 8 would be something that I would say has to be a little bit sweeter. I think any dry white, any dry red for me is probably going to always be sub 8, no matter how good it does taste. Just because I don't like the dryness of wines when it gives me that empty feeling in my mouth where I'm like, and my tongue's like a fucking desert, like I just ate 6 saltine crackers. Not a fan of that. I think that's more of an experiential thing, though. Next. Oh, this is a cork. No, it's not. Yes, it is. It's a cork. Okay. This is our first corked wine, Zinfandel. Zinfandel, California. Another Suter home. I think that's because Suter home tends to be cheap. And cheap wines are good for business. Ah! Oh my god, you scared me. I'm trying to drill into this wine. I know. It's fucking takes time to review a bottle of wine. Do you want to come try it? Do you want to share your opinion?
Is it red?
It's a red. It is a red wine. Or do you want me to do Pinot next? Find the 2 Pinots there. All right, I'll wait. I'll hold those off. Yeah, that looks good. I'm trying not to get aluminum foil in my fucking wine. She'll be making an appearance for the Pinot ratings. I also need to get this cork out to put this back on. Nobody rated the uncorking by me, though. That was perfect. Did you see the execution there? It was fantastic. Zinfandel. Zinfandel, another red to my knowledge. I don't know why it wouldn't be a red. Yes.
Yeah.
Another red. It's from Zinfandel, a California wine. At Suter Home, we've been bringing people together since 1948. Wow. So you just have the same fucking thing on every bottle. Raise a glass to friends and family with our bold Zinfandel. Supple tannins support juicy blackberry flavors, hints of spicy black pepper, and a long, lingering finish. I think I'm going to hate this wine. And just like that, it's recorked. I can refund it. Let's do the fucking fun fact. Let's get the fun fact out of the way. What do we think the fun fact is for this one? I bet it's terrible. Zinfandel is generally considered one of the most random wines because where it's grown and how it's made changes it more than other wines. Boring ass fucking fact. Oh my god, where it's grown changes how it's flavored? Oh, wow. It smells sweet. Why does it smell sweet if they said it was going to taste like black pepper? It smells really sweet. That's weird. You came up with that fact? I didn't come up with that fact. I asked ChatGPT for it. Yeah, that's the worst one. Yeah, that's the worst one thus far. Not a fan. It has that bite that's disgusting. It makes me want to go. In the lingering taste is nothing of black pepper. It just tastes like I drank wine, didn't eat anything, drank no water, and then went to bed and woke up. I feel like I just woke up with morning breath. I know my breath reeks right now, and it's because of this wine, not the others. 5. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't want to be too harsh for the Zinfandel lovers out there, for the 6 people in chat that like drinking fucking Zinfandel wine. That shit's garbage. Oh, I'll do this one. Another rosé. Okay, this is the second rosé we have. This one's Barefoot. Barefoot's like generally considered the fucking college kid wine. Barefoot wine is like a trash hole. They show their fucking most awarded wine brand sticker on each of them, even though their wine is literally like eight fucking dollars. Yeah, the college kids in chat right now are going, I love Barefoot. Barefoot wine's the best. I always get that from my liquor store. Yeah, because it's $6. It's a fucking cheap wine. I bet I'll love it, but it's probably terrible. It smells good. I'll give it to him. Hey, wait. Do I have to re-give my fun fact of rosé? We already heard the fun fact. We already heard the fun fact. I don't need this, right? We don't. Do you want another fun fact of rosé? Can somebody else give me a fun fact of rosé? I don't want to. Okay. Rosé is refreshing wine with aromas of ripe raspberries and juicy watermelon. Flavors of cherries and sweet citrus complement the smooth, crisp finish. Wow, that's such a fun fact. Oh my god, that's like fucking Capri Sun, dude. That is juice. That is juice. That has to have so much fucking sugar in it. Delightfully sweet, it says. Yeah. This has to be... When people talk about wine hangovers, they're not talking about like a red wine. They're talking about a fucking Barefoot Rosé. You drink this bottle of wine, you're going to wake up the next day wishing you were fucking dead, dude. This shit is probably... I bet if you drank this whole bottle of wine, which I bet a lot of college women do specifically. I'm not limiting wine drinking to women specifically, but in the United States, men stereotypically and statistically drink wine a lot less than women and drink a lot more beer. I bet there's a lot of women that could kill this bottle of wine, no problem. They probably wake up the next day so hungover. This has to be like 100 grams of fucking sugar. More. I didn't get watermelon. I got like apple. It kind of tastes like apple juice to me. Maybe like a watermelon juice. Like if you were to juice a watermelon, squeeze a watermelon out, I would get that. But I've never had watermelon juice, so I don't really know what it tastes like. I love this wine. And it's probably one of, if not the cheapest, out of all the bottles of wine we're tasting. Maybe outside that big fucking liter of red Cabernet that we drank. This one, just in terms of how much alcohol you're getting for the purchase price. This is good though. Probably one of the most unhealthy wines, but definitely the best tasting thus far. I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I enjoyed that. If this wasn't horrible for you, I could easily drink this. Easily drink the whole bottle. I'll keep that one. I'm going to keep all the wine, but I'm probably going to give half of it to my friends because I don't want it. Next! Oh, I'm excited for this. I'm excited for this. This is my go-to wine at a restaurant. If I'm at a restaurant, I'm ordering, and a lot of people are going to make fun of me for this. They're going to say, you're a pussy liberal. You're a fucking you're a liberal. Not this brand, but Chardonnay. Chardonnay. I like cold wine. This I'm drinking room temp, so I'm gonna take that into account. That normally this is in like a bucket of ice, but it's not going down. It's not going down. All right, there we go. Now we got it. Yeah, a lot of like Andrew Tate would say I'm a pussy for drinking a white wine. I don't really give a fuck. White wine's better than a red wine. I'll say that right now. But Chardonnay, one of my favorites. I also believe one of the most popular types of wines in the world. Widely consumed and also mixed with other types of wines. Chardonnay is used, I think, almost fully for... What is this? Oh. It's a gripper. So what the fuck is that? Chardonnay's good. I think that it's my wine of choice at a restaurant. Not even necessarily because it's my favorite wine, but I just think it's a good wine to have with food. Not the best tasting, but it usually like complements specific dishes. If I'm going to an Olive Garden and I'm feeling really Italian in that given day, and I walk in and they're playing that jazz music, I'll go, yeah, I'll have your finest bottle of red wine. Not red wine, Chardonnay. Yeah, that's a Chardonnay. I'm going to keep in mind that this is not chilled, though, because that probably would make it a lot better. If this was cold, this would be better. Your fun fact, it's one of the most drank wines in the world. I already know this. It's one of the most consumed wines in the world, and it's also primarily the only grape used to create champagne. Chardonnay is a praised wine/wine grape in the wine world. Chardonnay is very useful in wine mixes and creating sparkling wines like champagne. When we get to Prosecco, I'll fucking knock your boots off with another fun fucking fact. So ask for it then. It's a nice color. It looks like a moderately dehydrated pea. It's a lot darker than a Pinot Grigio and Prosecco. I would say this is more on the dehydrated piss level of white wine. If I poured more, you would really notice it. How almost orange this wine is. Now, I'm biased for Chardonnay. I love the aftertaste of a Chardonnay. I think it has a sweeter aftertaste and a more bitter front taste. I don't know what the bottle says. Let's read the bottle. Oh, it gives me a whole fucking paragraph of pairing and flavor. Medium body, displaying fresh flavors of pineapple and citrus. Oh, yeah. Like every other fucking bottle says. Pineapple, pineapple, pineapple. Chardonnay night picked at the peak of ripeness, then whole cluster pressed. So they have to harvest Chardonnay at night? Why? Produced in vineyards from the county estate in Sonoma. Where's Sonoma? California? Oh, this is a 2019 bottle. Oh, this might be the most expensive bottle today. Editor, this is a 2019 St. Francis Chardonnay. We're witnessing class here. This bottle of wine is 6 years old. This is a 6-year-old bottle of wine. I love that. Wow. This is a fucking... I feel like this is a special occasion. Chat, we should do a cheers. This is an aged classic. I also want to say, I had an aged bottle of red wine not too long ago. And it was from, I believe, like 2005. And it was gifted to me. And when I opened it, there was like chunks in the wine. And I just drank them. And I think you're not supposed to do that. But there was like weird sediment in the wine. But it was good. It was a good wine. And it was also a good drunk. A notable difference, wine drunk feels a lot weirder than other alcohol drunkenness. A lot of people presume, I gotta pause the music for this. A lot of people presume when you get wine drunk that it's just like the same as getting vodka drunk, beer drunk, whatever. I think the best level of alcohol consumption for me is getting beer drunk. I love drinking beer because I can just drink a lot of it. That's the cork. No, it's not the cork. It might have been the cork. And then I drank a little bit of wood. Who cares? But beer drunk and wine drunk are drastically different than each other. Wine drunk, you usually have a lot more hangovers. And I think that's because there's a specific... What's the thing in wine that makes you hungover? The tyramine, histamine, and sulfites. Yeah, the sulfites in wine make you hungover for some reason. And there's higher quality wines either have less of them or they're not as effective. It's the same thing with most liquors where people generally opt for like a more expensive alcohol will generally get you less hungover for some reason. Why that is, I don't know. It might be some sort of fucking, oh my God. What is it called? This is how I know I'm starting to feel the fucking wine that I'm drinking. What is it called when you take something but it's not actually helping you, you just think it's helping you? Placebo. I got it. I didn't need chat for that. But yeah, this is a good wine. I don't know if I want to take another sip because we're like halfway. We're not even halfway. And I'm definitely feeling it. But I kind of want to drink this wine again. We're going to drink a little more. I want to say that I'm biased, though. That's what I was getting to initially, is that I drink Chardonnay all the time. And because wine is an acquired taste, the more that you have of that individual wine over an extended period of time, the more it's going to grow on you, similar to coffee or an energy drink or anything of those sorts, where I'm going to immediately like this flavor more, even though it is also bitter like the other wines. It's like a sweet bitter at the same time, and that's why I like white wines. The lasting taste is pretty enjoyable. I'm not getting pineapple at all. I'll say that. I'm getting some sort of citrus. I'll give that a 7.5. It's worse than the Rosé, admittedly. I don't want to let my bias go too far, but it is worse than the Rosé for sure. Next. Oh my God, this is the other. Why did I buy this? I don't know. I think I got confused and I forgot. I have 3 duplicates of specific wines that we got for this stream. One was Pinot Noir, one was Rosé, and one was, I think, a Zinfandel or something else. And this is the other Pinot Noir that I have from Capola from 2023. So 2 years old, from the Diamond Collection, it says. Diamond Collection wines come from the best growing regions in California and reflect Francis Cappola's belief the fine wine enhances a well-lived life. Our Pinot Noir boasts a silky texture and dazzling perfume of crushed raspberries, rose petals, and rose petals and tea leaves, followed by luscious flavors of plums, strawberries, and spice. Wow, so it tastes like everything on fucking earth. That's interesting. You have a twist top. Your wine is supposed to be high quality, but I'm not seeing a cork. I just twisted that off with my fucking hand like I just opened a bottle of fucking soda. I bet this is going to taste like shit. And I bet this was one of the more expensive bottles. That's a lot. I got to stop pouring myself that much. The fun fact, we already gave a fun... I didn't give a fun fact to Chardonnay. No, I did. I had that off the top of the dome. We already gave a fun fact for Pinot Noir. This is just the other one to compare. What did I rate the first Pinot Noir? Bad, right? I think I gave the first Pinot Noir like a 6. It was unenjoyable. How many more do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Jesus Christ. Oh, fuck. Cheers. I bet I'm not going to like this one. I think I gave the first one like a 6. Maybe a 5.5. Problem. I am starting to like a lot of these more because I'm starting to feel the wine, to be noted. Okay? So I have to dial that down a little bit because that tasted like shit, but I didn't really care. That was bad, but I had no reaction. And I don't want you to think that I'm just biased against Pinot Noir. That was a bad wine. I just didn't care. A better example is like when I'm drinking a beer, it tastes like a beer. And then when I'm just drinking more beer, it just tastes like water. And that was not enjoyable, but I didn't really notice it as much. That was a 2023. What was that? I should keep the wine bottle here while we review it. The Coppola wine, it was better than the other one. It was still bad. I'm going to give that like a 6-7. Not for the meme. I think that's a genuinely accurate rating. It was almost a 7. It was very dry. A little sweeter than the other one, which I enjoyed. But still just, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of red wines. I think they're always just they're so bitter. So bitter and they're so dehydrating. Next. Ooh. We've got a special one. I don't know what wine glass I'm supposed to drink this out of. This is a Real Sangria. From that one song with what's his name? Luke Bryan. Where he's like, drinking sangria. Well, Blake Shelton wrote a whole song on fucking sangria. So this shit better be good. This is Real Sangria by Cruz Garcia. Grape wine with natural citrus flavors, product of Spain. 7.5% alcohol. So it's weaker than many of the wines that we're tasting. I believe this is... Oh, it's a twist top. Okay, it's low quality. You got me excited for the cork. Smells like hand soap. Smells like hand soap. Do I drink sangria out of this glass or this glass? Big glass or small glass? It's not bubbly. I think bubbly goes here. The big one. Hold up. I think we do the big glass. Unless it's bubbly, then we'll transfer. It's not bubbly. It's a red. I thought sangria... I don't know what I thought sangria was. I feel like I used to think sangria... It shows a bunch of fruit on the top, so I'm assuming this is going to be like an exceptionally fruity wine. It's a lower percentage, which makes me think that it's even more juice than wine. It smells like ammonia. It smells like cleaning materials, like back when I used to work at a laundromat for a period in time. I worked at a laundromat for a little bit when I was younger. That was a thing. I used to collect quarters and stuff. Used to mop things. Smells like cleaning liquid. It smells like cleaning supplies. It smells like lemon. Like lemon ammonia. That's good. The second that fucking hit my tongue. I didn't hit the fun fact. Hold up. Sangria was originally a way to reuse old wine. Back in the day, people would mix leftover wine they had with fruit, spices, and a little bit of brandy to mask any imperfections. Over time, it turned into a festive drink for holidays that people, as a staple, drink at parties and summer gatherings. Proven that even leftovers can turn into something delicious. So, sangria is something that's mixed with a lot of other things to kind of mask how bad it is. It does it well. That is a good fucking drink, and I enjoy that. I tasted the lemon, I tasted the citrus, and the blueberries for fucking sure. That's like the first wine that everything it said it was going to taste like, tasted like. That's a 9. That's a good wine. It's a good wine. It's probably very sugary, and it's a low percentage, so I understand why I'm judging it better than the others. I'm going to lower it, 8.5, because it is a lower percentage, and I feel like I'm giving it too good of a credit for the sole fact that it doesn't just taste like fucking alcohol. But that is a good wine. That is a good wine. I enjoy Sangria. I understand why mixing up the country guys again. What's his name? Blake Shelton. I understand why Blake Shelton made a fucking song about this shit. Now we're getting into the special shit. Now we're getting into popping bottles. This is a Prosecco, which is generally confused with a champagne. Prosecco is generally what people consume. This is the fun fact about Prosecco as well. Prosecco is one of the, most known bubbly wines, but it's also what's generally used. They also have a protective barrier here because this thing's gonna pop off. When I blow this, it's gonna go and fucking shoot. A lot of people sever these. Most people that drink mimosas assume that they're actually getting champagne. But most people that have drank mimosas or drank what they believe is champagne is actually not champagne, it's Prosecco, because champagne's fairly expensive. And Prosecco is a cheaper alternative that is almost identical and a very known bottle, right? It's got this thick, bulbous base into a thin head with this capped part right here. I don't want to shake it. I'm not going to shake it. That'll make a mess. I'm just going to open it. Okay, and it still makes a fucking mess either way. I literally... If I shook it, that would have been bad. Did you guys hear the pop there? I don't know if that would pick up on the mic. That's why I have fucking paper towels on standby at all times. It's a big thing for special occasions. When you graduate college and do all this other shit, you usually shake a bottle of fucking champagne or Prosecco. And then you fucking blow the top and it shoots 100 feet into the fucking air. Prosecco, also a wine that I've had a lot. Prosecco is enjoyable to me because I love carbonation, number one. Wow, I really poured that fucking terribly. I love carbonation, but Prosecco is also fairly cheap. And I've been to a few bars where they will serve an entire bottle of Prosecco for like $20. And, yeah, I'll buy a fucking bottle of Prosecco for 20 bucks. You're fucking kidding me if you think I'm not going to get that. You can see the bubbles. More bubbly than a soda. It rapidly fizzes the entire time. Usually mixed with orange juice, but I'm just drinking it straight. You could drink it straight, too. They have some flavored Proseccos as well, but I believe this is just extra dry. This is an extra dry Prosecco. It's not flavored at all. It's just a base Prosecco. Dry, though. Cheers. That was disappointing. I normally am a fan of Prosecco, but that one was bad. I think it was because it was extra dry. But I've had some good Proseccos previously. But I can't rank off of that. I have to rank off of the bottle that I'm currently ranking, which is La Furlan. La Furlan. This shit's ass. 5. It's so dry that almost no flavor shines through. I feel like I'm drinking a fucking, like a regular canned sparkling water, like a LaCroix. That's generally what it feels like. A LaCroix with some alcohol, some vodka poured into it. Like a splash of vodka in a full can of LaCroix. That's disgusting. That's a 5. Yikes. That's a bad play. Next one. Oh, I'm fucking excited for this one. Oh, I'm excited. The old Cali Red. The old Cali Red. Snoop Dogg. Snoop Doggy Dogg. Snoop Dogg wine. Here we go. Hey, it's a $10 bottle of wine with a fucking cork. That's how you know Snoop Dogg means business. We ain't got no fucking twist top here. We got Snoop Dogg wine pull it up, and it's got a branded cork that says 19 Crimes. Fascinating. Martha Stewart also had, I believe, a Chardonnay. I didn't buy it because, you know, I don't really give a fuck. But I knew I needed to get the Cali Red. Because I've probably had a few of these in my time. At 23 years old. I've had 3 or 4 Snoop Dogg wines. Where's the Cali Red fact? It's about Snoop Dogg. In 2013, Snoop Dogg stated that he smoked approximately 80 cannabis blunts per day. However, in 2024, he clarified that he only smokes about 5 blunts a day now. Which is still, nuts. He smokes like 2.5 gram blunts per day. Said at one point he smoked 80. I believe Chief Keef and Wiz Khalifa had also crazy, claims of how much they smoked. Snoop Dogg kind of lowered it down little bit. He's almost 50. I think he's 50 years old. I don't know how old Snoop Dogg is. Snoop Dogg's looked the same age for the last fucking 20 years. Since I've known who Snoop Dogg is, he's looked exactly the same. I'm gonna keep it a stack. This wine fucking sucks. It's bad. The only reason I drink it is because it's cheap as shit and Snoop Dogg is the head of the bottle. I've never once enjoyed a Snoop Dogg red wine. Cali Red it's just his fucking red wine. I don't even know what grapes it uses. It might say it on the back. Let's give the fucking back a read. 19 Crimes tells the true story of rule breakers, blah, blah, blah. A leader in contemporary pop culture, Snoop Dogg embodies the timeless values of 19 Crimes. Okay, it's 14%, so this is one of the highest fucking percentage wines that we're trying today. A red wine, we only got a little bit here. Cheers. A story about 19 Crimes. I don't know if I should be sharing this on stream, but I don't really care. I was at an Airbnb with my friends one day, and we would play this game called Death Cup, which is effectively a game. I'm going to say I don't condone this game. I don't condone this game. I don't condone this game. I was playing this game with my friends called Death Cup, and basically the premise of the game is there's a cup in the middle called the Death Cup, and a bunch of cups surrounding it, and then another layer of cups surrounding it. And the second layer that's on the furthest end, furthest from the middle, usually has like beer, White Claw, light alcohol. Middle layer has Four Loko, wine, something of higher percentage. And the middle layer, or the middle cup, has the Death Cup, which is a lot of alcohol. I had this one friend, who shall remain unnamed, who drinks a lot and can smoke a lot. He's a very nice guy, always there for you. But, when you want to party, he's ready to fucking party. And he would clear an entire bong bowl in one hit, and we would go play Death Cup. And in the Death Cup was Snoop Dogg Cali Red. It would be an entire cup of it. And then surrounding it was more Snoop Dogg Cali Red. He lost every single round to where he was drinking every single cup. Probably slammed around 2/3 of the bottle of wine, and then was naked in the bathtub throwing up in the drain. So, not great. But don't do that. Don't play Death Cup. You'll get too drunk if you lose, which you might lose. Don't play it. Yeah, we had to check up on him. Naked? Well, yeah, you're in the fucking bathtub. Yeah, it was a lot of Snoop wine. Snoop wine's 14%. It's pretty strong. But it's a generic wine. It's very cheap. It tastes like an indiscernible red wine. I can't. If you had me blindfold taste test it, I would immediately assume it's Snoop Red, or just be like, I have no idea what this is. There's no call tag to it. It's just a red wine. It's dry, has a little hint of sweetness. The aftertaste isn't really there at all. A lot of college kids drink it to get drunk. It's also Snoop Dogg, which makes it very popular. I'm gonna give it like a 6. It's not bad. It's not good at all. It's mid. All right, next. A Malbec, another Barefoot wine, the second Barefoot brand that we have today. They also have a little sticker that says gold, 92 points. 2016 Toast of the Coast wine competition. Bit of a useless fucking sticker to throw on there, because who the hell that's buying Barefoot wine knows that they won the 2016 Toast of the Coast. 2016 was almost 10 fucking years ago. I don't give a shit that you won a fucking wine competition 9 years ago. That's like walking into a business and they have a fucking plaque on the wall that says they won some award in 2015. I don't give a fuck. That shit was a decade ago. That says nothing about your goddamn business now. Barefoot Wine, you're pissing me off, but you had a good rosé. You had the best. I believe Barefoot had the best rating thus far. Yeah, I'm drunk now. All right. A Malbec. Oh, I didn't do the fun fact. Oh my God, I have 2 of these? Get the fuck out of here. All right, we're doing both at once. Fun fact about Malbec. It's sometimes referred to as black wine because it's one of the darkest reds there is. Yeah, I'll hold you to that fact. Here we go. Oh, that is dark. Wow. That is almost black. It's red. It's not that much darker than some of the other reds that we've had, but it is noticeably darker. I would say it's almost like a purple-black mixed together. So Malbec is one of the darkest wines there is. No fun facts. Oh, Barefoot Malbec has a luscious red wine with juicy flavors of blackberry and currant. All of them have blackberry efficiently. Yo, cheers to Barefoot. Oh, this is a fucking... Ooh. How much did I spend on this? That Barefoot was a 5 out of 10. Just fucking write that down. That shit was terrible. Robert Mondavi, 2019 Malbec. Interesting. 2019, you say. Pre-COVID, you say. 20-year-old bottle of wine, you say. Or not 20. 6. Pre-2020. Somebody look up the price of this bottle of wine. I bet this is probably 35 bucks. This is a higher quality bottle here. Interesting. Looking forward to seeing what they offer. What does Robert Mondavi look like? Let's look it up. Yeah, this guy means fucking business. Post it up, chat. This is aura. Robert Mondavi has fucking aura. I believe in your Malbec wine, okay? 2019 6-year-old bottle of fucking wine, Robert. I could tell that you're posted up the fucking grapes right now. Those grapes in that photo might be in my bottle of wine for all I know. And I'm excited. I can fucking sense the aura in this guy. And he's got a goddamn cork for his bottle that also says his name. That also says his name. Just dropped it. Awkward. He's mogging the grapes. I can't get the fucking cork off. I gotta put it back on the bottle after. What the fuck was that? Where the fuck did that come from? Fucking, what's his name? Robert Mondavi's fucking my shit up right now. Breaking my table and shit. You better have a good Malbec wine, buddy. What do we got on the back of the bottle here? Robert Mondavi Private Selection was founded in 1994 by Robert Mondavi to capture the delicious flavors of California's best vineyards. And that's what we're doing. Over 25 years on, we invite you to experience our Malbec. Red berries, boysenberry taste, blueberry, vanilla, baking spices, and it's best paired with barbecue and chili. Chili. If you're drinking a bottle of wine with chili, you need to rethink your life. Meanwhile, I'm drinking 20 bottles of wine on stream, so I can't say much. Cheers to Robert Mondavi. It was a better Malbec than the Barefoot one. Honestly, it had, I don't want to say a nutty taste, but it tasted more like a fucking walnut or like nature. It tasted like I licked a tree. Comparable, maybe that's the cork coming through, who knows. It tasted like I licked a fucking tree, though. It tasted more like a walnut, I would say. It wasn't good, but it wasn't bad. I'm going to give it a 6. All right, next. Next one we have here. I believe we're done with the duplicates. Now it should be all unique wines themselves. We have a Merlot by Coastal Estate. Another fucking cork bottle. Now we're getting into the high quality wines here, chat. At the very end. Probably should have started with these and ended with the bad qualities. Merlot. Merlot? I think it's a Merlot, not a Merlot. It's a T, but I believe it's a silent T. A Merlot. My grandfather would drink this wine. Merlot, very common amongst old people. A high-quality, high-class wine, some may say. Let's give a fucking fun fact reading here. Merlot. Where is it? Merlot comes from the French word merlet, meaning blackbird, supposedly because the birds loved eating the dark blue grapes right off the vine. If the birds love it, that means I must love it too. This bottle is from 2016. Bottle's almost 10 years old. $1 for every bottle is donated to Mission to Protect Oceans. Oh, that's awesome. It doesn't say anything about the wine on the back. Okay. Coastal Estate, 2016. The oldest bottle of wine that we've had today. I hope there's no sediment in it. Because the last time there was sediment in the wine, it was fucking disgusting. Merlot by Coastal Estate. Cheers. That's sweet. That's surprisingly sweet. The bitterness doesn't linger at all. I taste the dryness because it just makes your tongue feel like you need to drink a sip of water. Like you've been in the fucking sun all day. But had a bit of an apple sweetness to it. Still a red wine. Red wines can be only as sweet as possible. Like a white wine could be as sweet as, you know, Capri Sun, like juice. Like you're drinking fucking apple juice. A red wine sweetness is more like the fucking faint smell of a sweet fruit, not the actual taste of it. But it was there. I liked it. It was, maybe I'm also biased because it's the oldest bottle of wine that we're drinking today, and I think that's fucking cool. I'm going to give it a 6.5. I'm going to give it a 7. It was better than the other wine that we just had. Next. We're down to our last 5. And here we are with White Zinfandel. White Zinfandel. Wait, I think this is a twist off. Yep. White Zinfandel by Suter Home. The third Suter Home bottle I believe we've had today. Maybe fourth. Our family's been bringing people together since 1948. Yeah, we already know that. You say it on every fucking bottle. White Zinfandel. Wow, that is clear. That is clear if I've ever seen a fucking white wine before. A little bit like rosé. Almost orange, but a little bit clearer. I'll actually keep it on here. What is our fact for White Zinfandel? White Zinfandel. Invented by accident in the 1970s when a batch of Zinfandel juice at Suter Home, this specific winery, didn't ferment all the way. Instead of throwing it out, the winemaker tasted the sweet pink liquid and thought, not bad. And boom. A wine trend was born. So Suter Home actually invented this wine. This is a unique wine that was invented recently in the 1970s. Not recent, obviously, that was fucking like 55 years ago. But recently in terms of the wine world, because some wines have been, you know, known for thousands of years. But this is more on the medium sweet category, it says on the scale. And was made by accident. Sweet, but not a mead sweet. Kind of like an artificial candy sweet almost. I don't want to say it felt like I was eating like jelly beans, but it didn't feel like a real sweetness there. I don't know if they added anything to this. If they didn't, that's kind of shocking that grapes are able to achieve that sort of sweetness. You know, have you ever had candy snap grapes? It kind of tasted like that. Like candy snap grapes where they taste like cotton candy, but you can't even understand how that's even fucking naturally possible. It tasted like that. I'm going to rate that a 7.5. Did I drink a Pinot Grigio today? I think I might only have one. Oh, I only do have one. I only have one Pinot Grigio. Wow, okay. We got to save that for the end. Well, we'll do this one next. The other big-ass fucking bottle that we have. Woodbridge Riesling. Riesling, established in 1979. It's a fucking twist off. Brother, you're gonna make or not a twist off. You're gonna make a goddamn cork bottle for this big of a bottle of wine. Just fucking make it a twist off at this point. You ain't selling a bottle of a wine this fucking big and acting like it's fancy. Woodbridge, get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here with that. Woodbridge, established in 1979. It just talks about the founder of Woodbridge. Don't care. 11.5%. I read that as 15. A Riesling. Founded by Robert Mondavi. Robert Mondavi, you monopoly man. You've created two different types. You've created two different fucking wine brands under the same name. Interesting. Interesting. Woodbridge for Riesling. Riesling. I don't know how to fucking say it. Often considered the wine of the gods in Germany. It is made since the 15th century. That's really hyping this bottle of wine up for me. I better like this if they're fucking saying it's the wine of the gods. Wine of the gods like Greek gods? Like Zeus and those motherfuckers are eating this? Or not eating this, drinking this? Let's see if I can fit the cork back in. Beautiful. Why did I just... Problem. Oh, shit. Well, how are we going to get into the wine? Fuck. Okay, hold up. Hold up. Yo, I'm breaking the cork on this motherfucker. Oh, hell no. I'm not going to be able to get into the wine. What the hell am I going to do? Oh, this whole cork's gone. Oh, I've tainted this bottle. I've tainted this bottle. What do I do? How do I get the fucking wine out of here? The whole fucking cork's falling apart. Oh, no, I got it. I got it. Don't fucking worry. Yeah, here we go. Yup. Think I can't fucking get that shit. Okay, well, this bottle of wine is gonna have to be sealed with, like, fucking aluminum foil. Because I got no cork anymore. Riesling better be the best thing that I've ever had. Wine of the gods, you say. Yeah, we'll fucking put that one to the test. Cheers. $8.8. It's good. I don't know why I'm that shocked. I think it's because it's such a big bottle. And it also took me forever to get into it that I assumed it would be trash. But that's actually a pretty good wine. It's very sweet. Almost as sweet as the rosé that we had by Barefoot that I rated like a fucking almost like an 8.9 or almost 8.5. I almost rated it a 9. 1979. Not a new brand, but not that old of a brand of wine. You know, Robert Mondavi, your Merlot was pretty shit or whatever the fuck that was. I think it was a Merlot. This is pretty good. I'm going to give it an 8.5. Next, two more, and then we have the Pinot, which we're going to drink with Brooke, if she shows up. Otherwise, I'm sculling that shit. Next is the Bordeaux by Chateau Auguste. We're getting in here. Why are all of these fucking corks now? I was bitching about how none of them were corks, and now they're all corks, and I don't want them to be corks. I just want to fucking twist the top off and be ready to fucking drink this shit. God damn it. This is a work and a half. This thing comes with a little fucking tagline here. So I don't give a shit. I'm not reading that. Okay. This comes from 2017. 2017. Another aged bottle, you say. An old bottle of wine. 2017. What? How many years ago is that? 8 years ago. 8 years ago. 2017. 2016 was 9 years ago. So I was getting that wrong. Auguste Chateau. Bordeaux. Bordeaux. What is the fact? Bordeaux. The Romans were planting vines in Bordeaux long before it became the iconic wine powerhouse we know today. So when you sip on a Bordeaux, you're drinking a piece of history. So this is one of the oldest wines ever made. We're going to pour it first before I fucking put the cork on it. Yeah, remember that one. There we go. High IQ. 2017, an older bottle of Bordeaux. Cheers. Bit of a sweet, bitter smell. A little peppery. Smells a little bit spicy. No. It was an I don't know, what percentage is that? It was an overpowering flavor, but it wasn't bad. 14.5, that's why. This is a very strong bottle of wine. So I have to factor that in. It was strong, but it didn't taste like 14.5. It just tasted bitter. The actual taste itself outside of the alcohol wasn't bad. Kind of generic, like every other fucking red wine we've had today. The actual wine itself, you know, as I said, generic, but the alcohol just kind of over fucking played everything. I don't know. I think that's a little too strong for a wine for me. I'm going to go fucking 6.2. I'm getting more specific in my ratings. I was going half points. Now I'm going fucking fraction decimals. I'm going 1/10 of a point now. But that's a 6.2. That's not good. All right, last one. Then we have the Pinot. Another Suitor home. Wow, I bought a lot of Suitor homes. Pink Moscato here. Pink Moscato, another very choice selection of college people. Young students. Younger people are drinking Pink Moscato, a very sweet wine. I know it's a sweet wine because I've had it. It says it's supposed to have caramel aromas. My ass caramel aromas. That shit smells like fucking grapes. Pink Moscato. What's our fun fact for Pink Moscato? It was the drink of choice for the Real Housewives of New York. The sweet, bubbly wine gained massive popularity after being featured on a show, making it the ultimate sip and gossip drink. The Real Housewives of New York popularized Pink Moscato as a drink of choice when talking about drama. This is the most drunk I've ever seen you, Joe. LMAO, very interesting. No, this is not the most drunk I've ever been. The most drunk I've ever been was on the UFC stream, not UFC, MMA. It was an Amazon MMA stream that I partnered with CSN to do. And was anybody here for that? Me and Jojo the Mofo did a stream at I was live for 9 hours. I did a react stream, and then we did an MMA watch party. And me and Jojo the Mofo watched 11 fights. And we bet every fight who we thought would win, and every loss we had to take a shot. And I lost 7 times. And I drank 7 shots of, not Fireball, Screwball, which is peanut butter whiskey, on stream. And then we played Valorant. And I ordered Denny's. And I ate eggs with my hands. I never want to get that drunk on stream again. I don't want to say it was unenjoyable, but that was I'm not a role model. I need to say that, right? We're doing a fucking wine review right now. I'm wearing a goddamn suit and tie on the upper body half of my person. I'm not a fucking role model. But I'm a big, I think I do a lot of charity streams. I'm a big suicide prevention advocate. I talk a lot about that stuff. So I understand a lot of people look up to me in that sense. And so I try to be, more recognizable. I got way too drunk that stream. That was not good. Right now, I'm drunk, but I'm still coherent. I was not coherent at that time. I was queuing Valorant games at 1 in the morning with Jojo the Mofo, hammered. Hammered. I was so drunk. I couldn't even fucking focus on the game, let alone chat. It was I was just in my room playing with Jojo the Mofo. Do it again? Hell no. Hey, if CSN wanted to do another MMA stream, I would do it. I have high hopes for this one. I think this one will be enjoyable. Yeah, I assume it's going to taste not identical to the Rosé, but a Pink Moscato is usually a sweet wine. It's going to be high in sugar content. So I presume that it's going to be... That's the last bottle of wine. Ignore that. I presume that it's going to be, overly sweet, but because of that, I'm going to like it. I've opened 20 bottles of wine. No, this is 19. I've almost opened 20 bottles of wine. Oh, this is a lot of wine. Pink Moscato. Did I give the fun fact? I can't remember. I did. I know I did. Cheers. Smells sweet. And it is sweet. I don't want to say it tastes like a mango card IPA, but that was a very sweet IPA beer taste almost. Not like an artificial sweet like some of the other white wines that we've had, but it was almost too sweet. That I feel like I wouldn't enjoy that after a glass. That seems like a dessert glass of wine. If I were to drink more than one of those, that would probably be disgusting. It was good in comparison to a Merlot, but by itself, I think that's like a 7-8. Paired with something, I think that would be good, but by itself, it's bad. We're on to the last one. I need to go pee real quick, and then we're going to finish the Merlot. Chat, how's the review been? I feel like I don't know if I've been giving enough detail about the specific wines that I've been tasting. They're all, you know, I don't want to say I was surprised, but they were better than I thought they would be. Specifically the reds. I don't want to say I'm a red wine hater, but I don't really like red wine as much as white wine at all. Like, I would never really order a red wine at a restaurant. But some of these, I don't want to say were eye-opening by any means, but some of them were pretty good. And I just kind of assumed that every red wine we tasted would be dry and bitter, and some of them were generally sweet and enjoyable. So, the last wine of the day, quite possibly one of the most popular wines, is Pinot Grigio. Brooks, your favorite wine?
My go-to.
Her go-to wine. What's your favorite wine?
My favorite type of wine for like not every day. What's the word I'm looking for? Like my go-to is Pinot Grigio. But if I want something sweet, like I like peach infused ones. Those are fun.
Moscatos though.
No, it's not a Moscato, but it's like fruit infused. It doesn't like clarify.
But what type of wine?
It just says like.
It has to be a type of wine.
I don't know. I don't have the answer.
All right.
Can
Fun fact about Pinot Grigio. It's basically the cool girl of white wines, like Brooke. Light, crisp, and doesn't text back. It's the wine you drink on patios with sunglasses on, pretending you're in an Italian rom-com. Wow, big glass for Brooke there. Nope, that's good.
Cheers. This isn't cold too, so that's not gonna be great.
You're supposed. Well, Pinot Grigio, you don't have to drink chilled necessarily.
Yeah, but it tastes better. Let me just. No, that needs to be cold.
Well, you gotta keep in mind, I've drank all of these room temp. Well, Barefoot wine, I was saying too, is just like a low. I don't want to say low quality wine, but it's fucking cheap. Like it's shitter wine. It's not like top grade. You're never gonna get Barefoot wine at a fucking nice steak restaurant.
But what I like about cheap Pinot Grigios is that they kind of have like a little bit of carbonation.
It doesn't have carbonation.
Because they're cheap. Yeah, it has like a fizz.
No, not fizz. I would say it just has a tang to it that you're prescribing as fizz. I would say that was like a 7 for me. Out of I was rating 5. Okay, I'm gonna give you my scale. Don't rate it yet. A 1's disgusting. A 5 is you would drink it for the sole purpose of the alcohol content. And a 10's amazing.
And can
I
I
said a
go
7.
off if this was cold?
Well, you could put that in your mind, but you're supposed to generally
cold,
rank.
It's like an 8.
Okay, right
8.5.
now. What is it now?
Warm?
Well, she puts ice in her wine.
Like a 6. Yeah, but you're still supposed to get
You're
white
not
wine
supposed to
chilled.
put. You're supposed to get it chilled, but you're not supposed to put ice in your wine. You water down your wine.
Warm, this is like a 6.5.
Okay.
So but the wine that I get the most doesn't mean it's my favorite wine.
Yeah, your favorite wine isn't Pinot. You just like Pinot because it's not high in sugar. All right, well, W wine review. What was the winner? I think it was a rosé. I think I gave rosé like an 8.5 or an 8. What was the best? I think it was a rosé. I think Barefoot Rosé won that. Or the Riesling. The Riesling was really good. The worst one, I don't remember. It was some sort of red wine. The red wines were disgusting. That was fun. All right, let's do a push-up competition real quick.